I know you, I can feel you with the green of soul. It's more than empty dreams and promises. It's not infecting me no more. When all I say to you is getting gone, you won't be feeling me no more. I know you, I can feel you with the green of souls. When you're not looking at me, I feel so slow. When all those dreams of all our memories, there's nothing alone and one. And thoughts of you just bring me down inside. I sing it with the ring of souls. I know you, I can feel you with the ring of souls. When you're not looking at me, I feel so slow. What? Get your hands up! It's more than empty dreams and promises.
So that's how Bill became a lot.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight in the listening room. Subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, like the video. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight on the listening room. My name is Eddie Booz. I am your host, and tonight I have an amazing singer and songwriter with me, good friend of mine, actually. And let me turn off the, oh, there we go. That's much better now. Now there's no echo or anything like that.
Love that.
We'll have that back on once you're ready to rock, though.
Okay.
But I'd like to introduce you guys today to a good friend of mine, amazing singer-songwriter from right here in Long Beach, California, Mr. Crumb. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, dude, I'm doing great. Good to see you, Jay.
Good
How
to
you
see
doing,
you,
man?
Jay.
Yeah.
It's never going to go away, is it?
What's your name?
Right, okay.
I mean, Edward J. I'm sorry.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what have you been doing the last couple months? You've been off slaying a dragon? What's your what's your mission been, dude?
I've been basically just staring at a computer, getting a lot of wondering why things go wrong, and then problem solving. It's been really fun, but learning a lot. But for the most part, one thing I got accomplished as of a week ago is the script for Amusia, the musical, 91 pages, fully done.
Really? Fully
Yeah,
done?
Fully done.
Good for you, man.
Dude, what I learned is that doing things by yourself is hard.
Yeah.
Finding people that are or like playwrights to do it, they're great. And so silver lining with the shutdown, a lot of creative people are having more time and they're looking for something to keep their mind off of things. I was able to. Lauren and Steve, good friends of James.
Awesome.
They
came through for you, huh?
Through. They put a lot of time into it. They did all the minutia of the the dialogue and made it come to life. And we did a read through a couple of weeks ago. I was crying like a baby the whole time because I've been thinking about this project for about 5 years, and to see it get to this place has been amazing. The problem is that now that's all I think about, and I really can't think about that if I want to get anything else done. So the struggle has been, all right, I will dive back in to the musical and finish the lyrics now that I can and finish the score. But I want to be able to go in the woods and shut off the world when I do that. And I got some other projects I need to get done first. It's I'm
Such
not,
as?
I'm not a multitasker. I'm one or the other. So the other projects are helping helping people with their live streams by green screening myself in and other people.
Helping people, huh? That's what you call it?
We're live stream heroes. Everybody needs a euro. Sometimes. And then a hero comes along with the best notes to the song. And so there are a lot of celebrities right now doing streams by themselves in quarantine, and they don't have a band.
So you think it's a good idea to join them?
Well,
Accompaniment.
Yeah, they're not used to being by themselves, using their phone as their only source of microphone. So next week we'll be posting our first one with Alicia Keys.
Awesome! Can't wait to see that.
Oh yeah, man! And basically, yeah, she was sweet. She was nice to let us let me sit on her couch. She barely even noticed I was there, and I played along and did some harmonies, and brought the stream to another place. So we're gonna be doing that with Chris Martin. And Dave Matthews and Miley Cyrus just did, Miley Cyrus did at the Rose Bowl. She said "Help," and we're gonna be in the stands, just singing the backup.
Singing it with her.
Yeah. When I was younger, so much younger than today, I never need help in any way. But I've never. Yeah, so it's not a good performance that she's doing because let's face it, all these stars, they have money and teams to sprinkle fairy dust on them, but reality is that they're terrible. They're awful, and and they never had to learn how to sound good on their own. And it breaks my heart to see that that they shouldn't have to go out like that.
They shouldn't have to go through that. They shouldn't have to put themselves through that.
No, they did not plan on going from Hollywood at the beck call to what? My phone, huh? How do I turn on auto tune? There's no button for auto tune on my phone. So it breaks my heart. So that's a little project I'm doing, as far as my pro bono humanity project.
Sure, of course.
They
Giving back.
I can't think of anybody who's suffering more right now than the celebrities who have giant houses and plenty of toys to play with.
So you definitely think they need a helping hand. So you think you go out there and play a little music with them and accompany them on some songs and just be a good guy. Just an all around good guy.
Well, who else am I gonna help right
That's almost how I introduced you in the show tonight. Is just all around good guy, Mr. Crumb. It should have said that on the screen right there instead of singer songwriter. Just Mr. Crumb, all around good guy.
All around good guy, humanitarian,
philanthropic,
people person. Yeah, full on philanthropist.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I think that describes you to a T.
Thank you, and you too, man. Like I said, you're doing a wonderful thing here for the community. I love that you stepped up and did this, and
I have a blast when I do this, dude. I always have a blast doing these shows, man. So
you were made for this.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. And it's funny when I started it was just to do like my own little thing.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
it wasn't even to like have guests on and stuff. But this has been a whole nother thing. It's been super fun. It's been something I enjoy a whole lot more actually than just showcasing my stuff every day and talking to the crowd. What's up, Tiago, Bender, the Good Joint? Good to see you guys in the house tonight. Thanks to Mr. Crumb for coming out and hanging out with us this evening as well.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys. Yeah, and the Good Joint. Thank you for that nice compliment there.
Yeah, dude, that was a dope. If you go to my channel on the main channel, you'll see the Reach for the Sky, the live version from a Thursday night jam session, and Mr. Crumb just absolutely obliterated that solo. The Good Joint is right.
I didn't know that my pedal was set to minor thirds. It worked for that, but earlier in the night when I did the Beatles solo for the song Something, it's horrible. It's like it sounds like a robot, and I had no idea. Did you hear that?
I thought it sounded okay. I liked it.
I don't know. I actually thought it was funny because I did that. We did the Like a Stone, but we can hear the effects, so we're like, yo, yeah, this is just but it was like every other one was just the wrong harmonic interval because
that I did notice afterwards, and I was listening. I was like,
I felt bad because I know Eddie wouldn't be like, yeah, I mean that sounds like it should have been a major third and then a minor third. Technical stuff here, but they can't all be minor thirds. It doesn't work. But for that one, it did on your
right.
Yeah, so I'm really glad one of them worked.
That's awesome. So Mr. Crumb is going to grace us with an amazing live musical performance this evening. And BJ, good to see you, brother. Good to see you.
Hello, BJ.
We're going to have you on pretty soon. We're going to be doing showing the hard rock version of Roxanne that we did. But why don't you let us know what we're going to be hearing tonight from you? I know you're going to be doing some specific stuff. Some of the stuff I heard you jamming on earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So where does that music come from?
So tonight I decided that because I haven't released original stuff in a while. When I did my first album, that was a long time ago, and then I've just been doing Jelly, as far as like releasing fully and also writing. But I realized I don't have anything to show for it. So tonight I'm going to be doing a couple songs from my very first songs that I haven't ever released.
Really?
Which I know is exciting for everybody to hear. Something you've never heard, and I wrote when I was 15. It's gonna be great. No, but I promise it's some stuff. One song I wrote when I was in Peru, and it's a song called "Happiness Is a Love Song," and I just never finished it. I mean, I finished it, but I never recorded it, and it's one of my favorites. And I'm also going to do some Jelly songs tonight because I've had a few people reach out, from Jelly fans, I think, and they've been wondering where we're at. Knots apparently is opening up, but then, they're like, yes, no, the whole world's like, yes, no. So who knows, but I've had a lot of people come, a lot of love from the Jelly fans, so I'm going to do a few Jelly songs and slow them down a little bit so they're working acoustics environment.
Nice.
Like Carnival, I've never really performed by myself, and so
Dude, that sounded great earlier when you were doing it by yourself. Man, that sounded wonderful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. So that's why I'm gonna be going. I was hoping to go live on the Jelly Instagram as well for that. So I'm gonna do half Jelly, half Crumb, and then do a song with you. I'd love for you to join me on one of our favorite Eat the Meeks.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Do a little No Effects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. And tonight I'm also going to debut my first public performance of When You Wish Upon a Star.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I heard you playing that earlier, and I was like, oh, I just learned that too.
Dude, it's like we're the same guy.
I know.
When we go through
Did we just become best friends?
Yep.
Want to go karate in the garage?
It's incredible. The synchronicities of our lives have been. Yeah, it's
been awesome. That's how we met. So good to see you, Gayton. Everybody tonight watching. Thank you guys so much for joining us in the listening room. Looking so forward to having Mr. Crumb do a live musical performance for us very quickly here, very soon here. Real quick, so he's talking about Jelly of the Month Club and performing in a couple songs from Jelly of the Month Club. So for those who are watching who don't know what Jelly is, why don't you explain kind of what Jelly is to everybody and kind of so they can kind of get a feel for, what's going on.
Okay. I'll try to do the whole story as quick as possible. In 2011, when Sublime with Rome started up, again.
Yeah.
Bud, Todd, and Bert Suzanka from the Ziggins. Todd played horn with Sublime, and Bud drummed. They were on tour, and they were like, what are we doing? We don't want to play with this guy, and we're family guys now. Let's start a family band. So they had this concept back then. I was in my 20s still. Long story short, they reached out to a good friend of mine, Mike Dangerously, who plays with Zen Robbie. He's very talented.
He's actually going to be on the show not next Friday, but the Friday after, actually. He's going to be on 2 weeks from today as our musical guest.
Oh, that's going to be a great show.
Yeah, absolutely. Man. Can't wait to have him.
Oh, yeah. Don't miss that one. And so, Mike's, he's a people person. He's a lot of people know him. I'm not, but I know Mike. So they reached out to him to sing, and then he recommended me to come over one day, and this was when I just broke up with my girlfriend, and I was just wandering the streets drinking Jack Daniels, and
Perfect guy for a family band.
So yeah, I came over to Todd's house in Belmont Heights, this nice family place with, looking like I've been on a bender, which I was, and played them some stuff, and they said, "Yeah, you're perfect." I'm like, all right, let's play for kids. At the time, I didn't feel like I was that was a good role for me. I felt like a little fake at the time because I felt like a kid still, and I felt like I wasn't a good role model. But now it's really paying off nicely. I'm really glad I did that young because I'm understanding as I get older. Wow, it's really nice to have that all figured out. And at 37, I'm glad I don't have to start a project like that now because those guys had a great idea when they were in their early 40s. I didn't realize how good of an idea it was until I got older. So it's a nice outlet for me to play just wholesome things and be a kid again, and just focus on things that are positive, which pretty much saved me during that time because,
good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Music tends to do that,
Oh, it's the best therapeutic thing. It's really, so Jelly started then, and we brought out the inner child in all of us, and marketed to everybody, not just kids. We want to do good music that just didn't have a lot of deep meanings, that were just fun for everybody, and parents enjoyed as well. And we got a lot of success pretty quick. Our first album did really well, and our second one even better. And from that, we landed a residency at Knott's Berry Farm, and they consider us their crown jewel now of entertainment.
Cool.
And we got lucky with that, and it worked out. So we've been working with the Schultz Peanuts characters, and I'll be performing a song I wrote for Charlie Brown here in a little bit.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's been nice. It's just all positive stuff, and when you're young, it's so easy to write songs about your emotions, and it's kind of lazy to kind of go the depressing route, even because it matches, what we're going through. Then it's like I could always write a song like, "I woke up today and I feel so confused," which is a lot of songs when you're young.
Right.
It's really hard to write a good happy song without sounding lame. I found that to be the biggest challenge because, got up this morning, the sun was bright and shiny, like, it's terrible. It's just so cookie cutter, and so to have one that doesn't just get overly cheesy or is just, but still be, a happy song, that challenge I found really fun. And so, 'cause none of my songs were like that before. And your reality is really just, you create your reality based on anything. If your YouTube feed is all like cooking, then all you're going to see is cooking. It's amazing what it is what you think about. So as soon as you just switch focus into a different frame of mindset, then all of a sudden, now I'm happy because I'm writing happy songs.
Exactly.
It's that easy. It took me a long time to realize that. Like, if I'm always singing depressing songs, I'm just revalidating how depressed I am. And
exactly.
what's the point of that? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I remember when I was younger, I had a conversation about this very thing with Tucker Lives last Friday, my musical guest last Friday, and we were talking about that. When I was younger, I was very into bands. When I first started playing music and writing songs, I was into bands like Nirvana and Soundgarden and Alice in Chains and things like that. And those were bands that didn't necessarily have like super like happy messages.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So when I started writing it with that type of mind frame, with that type of influence. And then I remember my dad told me one day, he was like, "You should write about more positive stuff, and you have a chance here to spread a message, and like, what do you want to say?" So I thought about what he said, and I was like, wow, And so it took me a while. It wasn't right away, but years later I started writing songs about love and happiness and things like that, like positivity, and it changed a lot of the things that were in my life. Like I realized that the songs that I was writing were manifesting actual things in my life
exactly
as I was writing them, or even after. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you're right. It's like it's like anything. Your thoughts create your reality. You know what I'm saying? So
100%.
And especially when you become emotionally involved with the feelings of that you get from those thoughts, like to say you think about something that's going to make you happy, like you say you're writing a happy song and you get that feeling of happiness, and you allow yourself to develop an emotional relationship with it. Well, there's almost no better way to do that than through song, than through writing. And it's this therapeutic, incredible experience and procedure that you just get to go through and experience as a creative musician, where a lot of people will never understand that. They'll be able to listen to a song and get, this feeling that just resonates with inside them. It happens to me all the time. But writing a song, dude, it's a whole nother experience, and being able to be the one that controls on what's being said and like what that message is, that's the one of the most important things that I think a lot of people fail to actually realize when they're creating art, when they're writing art. Like, what is my actual message, and like, what am I trying to say here? And am I trying to like portray a message of positivity here, or am I just portraying? Everybody's gonna portray something differently, whatever they feel. If they're not feeling great, but you do have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to write something or create something that could inspire somebody, that could make somebody feel a certain way and turn their life around in certain ways. You never know. I've had people come up to me before, and I wrote a song about family and about my mother when I was younger, and I had over the years, I had so many people come up to me and tell me that song resonated with them because like about a specific significant other.
Yep.
So they thought I had written it about like a girlfriend or something like that, but it was like not, what I'm saying? It was about how my mom would get up real early and leave in the morning, and I wouldn't see her before school, and then she would, and by the time she come home I was off doing something with my friends, so it was like we were always scheduled off and not really spending too much time together as much as I would have liked, or she would have liked, we would have liked, what I mean? And that's what the song was about. And a lot of people, have come to me and said they relate to song in their own way.
Yeah.
And they say, oh, this has really affected me in a certain way. And man, that song is just like, it hit me so hard. Like, my wife and I, we have different schedules at work, and we haven't seen each other in like a year and a half, or, we barely just, cross paths here and there. And it really resonated with me. And you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, you do have a message. You have an opportunity, everything you create, you have an opportunity. You have a distinct opportunity to say something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what is that you want to say?
Oh, it's the ultimate. A lot of people will drink to escape or take a pill or whatever, but I think musicians and artists learned before that was even an option to make themselves feel better. They found music as that, and that's the most healthy way to do it. Like, I remember when my parents were going through a divorce, that's when I gravitated towards music.
Right.
That was when I was like, oh, I'm gonna find something that makes me feel good,
right.
And another thing that you said, which makes you a great songwriter, because that's really the secret of songwriting, is writing lyrics that are specific enough to be. To not be like, you don't want to be like, oh, mushrooms, fairies, la 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 la. You don't want to sound like those, but you also want to have something vague enough where people can identify their own struggles through it. Because I know that breakup songs, they just sounded like noise to me until you go through one, and I'm like, they all are talking about my breakup. Every single one. I got a barbecue stain on my white t-shirt. That's what happened to me when that's where our minds go. Like, even if it's not, but like that song, right. Somebody that I used to know, came out right then, and I was just like, it's stop talking about me, and but it's we can't help it. We see ourselves in these things, and so kudos to you for doing that. One of the songs I wrote for Jelly was just called Smile. I didn't think about. I just thought it was hey, what makes you smile? A good friend of mine that I met through Knots. She was going through some struggles, and she told me that she was going to kill herself. And then my song came on randomly on her feed, and she didn't. And she said that I didn't write that she'd be dead. Stuff like that. It's just incredible.
It's heavy.
Music. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, your music does amazing things to people. Amazing things to people.
Yeah, I can't really compare it to anything else that's more real. We can.
It's a trip.
Yeah, there's nothing really in the material world, I think, that even compares to what that is to me personally. But I think every person could really admit that in some way, because it's a personal relationship with what they're experiencing. It's unique to them. It's like you don't like a movie that explains exactly why things are. It's nice for them to be like, I think that meant this, because that way, like, they came to that conclusion, as opposed to, like, you know what I mean? Like, instead of like, the reason why there's zombies everywhere is because it's like, it could be, if you leave enough to the imagination, the people will fill in the gaps and make it, personalize it, which makes it cool. Like that movie Yesterday blew my mind. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
They didn't spend 1 second explaining why that happened in the world. They just said, "Oh yeah,
here's the situation. It's happening."
Yeah. They didn't. They were like,
right.
One night this thing happened and there was no Beatles.
Right.
And like, to me, if I was writing that story, I'd be like, well, we have to explain why. I mean, give me some scientific reason. They're gonna be like. But then when I was watching it, I was like, that would be so lame. It's so much better that they don't. If they were, if they were like, well, it's because the stars in the sky hit the equinox at the perfect time, I'd be like, oh, that's stupid. But because they left it open, it was kind of beautiful, and I try to. That's the fine line of being specific and being vague is really the walking on tightrope of writing good, of making good art, and I see it with you all the time, man. So you get it.
Yeah, but you can't be so vague that you're just kind of saying words.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it can't be just kind of random poetry. You know what I mean? Which is, I mean, it can. I mean, but like, as far as what we're talking about, as far as conveying a message to where people can relate to it in their own way.
You can, depends.
That's what I'm saying. But for the sake of what we're talking about now, it's what the message that you said, the message that we're both talking about being vague but still portraying a specific message definitely applies.
Nirvana does it sometimes where I'm like, they're like.
That's what I was saying. I was gonna say that's the best example is Nirvana.
Aqua, Seafoam, Shame.
Like, think of it.
I've racked my. What is he talking?
Hey, thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate that. Good to see you, brother.
Aqua, Seafoam, Shame. I mean, come on, like. And
what about a heart-shaped box? Just think,
Right. I mean, at the time I was a kid, so I'm like, oh, it's so deep, like a Pisces. But really, I mean, there is a fine line between, like, I don't know, it just sounds good, and then allow yourself.
Yeah, I always thought the same thing. Like, cut myself on angel's hair and baby's breath. Like, what?
Yeah. It's a great song though.
Allow yourself to what?
I like he says umbilical noose.
Yeah,
which is that paints a picture in my mind that makes me think he's thinking of something. Umbilical noose.
That's not. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Right.
Yeah. No, he's definitely had some pretty interesting lyrics. That's for sure. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. And it's funny when you hear like some of the best songwriters. They always say the same thing, and I understand it. They're like, "Where do you write the words first?" I'm like, "No, you don't write the words first. That, you know how hard it is to like shove like done words
into a yes." So yeah, I've had people bring me like full on poems and like, can you make a song out of this? And I'm like, I'll have to take words out and like,
where's the rhyme scheme? There's too many syllables here. This isn't it, and
like I can take the idea and make a song out of it.
Right. Yeah. But then you're still like, you're
kind of butchering somebody else's art. Yeah.
Yeah. I usually like we'll just sit there with the guitar. I'll just go just hum a little bit, and all of a sudden out one sentence that I like. Amazing Grace. I wrote that, by the way, so I'm just giving an example.
Right, yeah.
Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. Oh, I like that. Okay, now There we go.
All right, so talking about songwriting, let me ask you a question. So
Yes.
for me, I have specific guidelines that I like to follow, specific rules, as it were, of like I like to stay away from.
And now Eddie's rules for songwriting.
not
Cut to the thing. Oh no.
a couple. There's a couple things I like to stay away from or do. Like for example, one of those would be like stay away from cliches.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like stay away from cliches within the lyrical content.
Which what? Give me an example.
Raining cats and dogs,
Yeah.
or
using stars all the time.
yeah, or like something like it was a dark and stormy night.
Yeah.
It's something that everybody
Yeah.
says.
Or
in
waking
every
up.
single
I woke up this morning.
I woke up, right, exactly. It's something everybody says in every single song. Now, for example, as to switch that up, like instead of saying like on a dark and stormy night, saying something like on a smoky night.
Yeah.
That way, it's like it paints a visual
The
picture in
night
your
was
head.
sultry.
Yeah, it paints a picture in your head of something different that you can grab onto and go, that's a material, a picture I can picture in my mind, not just every other thing that you see. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
One of those is that. One of them is like something along the lines of like, I always try and write the song for everyone else, meaning I try not to write, I try and write it like, I mean two things by that. One, I try not to write it in a key that's like out of the realm of like, that's like Mariah Carey status, like super in the in the clouds where normal people can't sing it. Because when you write a good song, you want it to be everyone's.
I just realized that same thing like 3 months ago. I feel so stupid that it took me so long to realize that.
Well, I had a guy, I had Guy Snyder who's produced Tupac and just a bunch of great artists. I was doing a writing session for a Warner Brothers artist one time, and I brought, I jumped in the booth. I took about a half hour. I brought up 3 ideas, and they were like, really, really like this, but bring it down like two full keys, because and he told me why, and I'm like, hey, that really makes a lot of sense. He goes, well, you think the Beatles did for their entire career? They wrote songs that everybody could sing, that made those songs that made those songs the listeners. And once they heard them, they could sing them, and it was their song now.
There's a reason nobody plays Michael Jackson when you're out at the bar.
Right.
Have you ever heard somebody be like, embarrassing? Like you got to be just him.
Right.
Exactly. It's like
so for you, like, are there any specific little types of like things that you like to either stay away from or make sure that you do in certain songs?
Yeah, I when I write songs, I really try to stay away from the obvious. Those chord progressions that are it's just too easy. Like
I have the same issue. I try and stay away from those.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
James can attest to that for both of us, I think, actually.
James, is he here? Yeah.
Porteous.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, he's even on another level than I am. Like I have to calm him down, which I never thought I'd ever do. He's like, "What about this chord with this chord?" I'm like, "Whoa, it has to have a melody, though, And that's the thing is that like you can't just give me a bunch of chords and be like, make a melody out of this. Like, what makes it the fun game is like, okay, this is a chord progression that's weird, but like. Like we're talking about,
we're making a cool melody out of it, and it sounds great, and it sounds like it's naturally should go there.
Right, and it doesn't sound like those chords are experimental, like What a Wonderful World,
Wonderful World, or Wish Upon a Star.
Wish Upon a Star,
exactly.
Those are innovative chords,
dude. What's that one from Bing Crosby I like to do?
Pennies from Heaven.
Pennies from Heaven. Very similar. It's
Absolutely.
it's really super interesting chord progression with some chords that are even out of the key.
Yeah,
but they put them in a certain sequence and a certain arrangements that make them really work and pop.
Yeah,
make those certain parts be like, oh, that really sounded like that was really pleasing to the ear.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it's like they're trying to be experimental. That's one thing I try to stick away from is sounding like Rush on acid.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, we're just being so progressive and look what we can do. It's like, yeah, it works. It doesn't suck. But, I'd rather have the best songs are the ones where you write it and you're like, this has been written before. I'm ripping someone off. And then you're like, no, no one's written this.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Those are the ones that I'm like, that are like, holy crap, it's.
Yes,
like,
and you feel really good about, and you're like at the end of the day, you're like, dude, like yes,
yeah.
I have specific songs like that too that I've played with James that I was like, I think somebody else wrote this,
right? Yeah, you think that you're ripping it off. It's like I stole this from someone. No, you haven't, and that's a good sign. Yeah.
Well, and I find some of the best songs write themselves.
100%.
And I find the best songs also come out like blah. Like they also just like jump out of you like all at once.
Like it's not even you writing it. Like
No,
you got taken over. And an hour later, you're like, I just barfed a song.
Yeah, exactly. You were a conduit for that like strange like thing that just like feels like you're like the doctor in the original Alien movie with that thing coming out of your chest.
Oh, yeah. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. He's like, yeah, of course.
Well, that was in Spaceballs, but
same
I
guy.
guess same.
yeah. Pretty much that happens every time I write a good song. An alien pops out and does a little dance. Jack, please.
Exactly.
No, but 100%. People always try to figure out like what songwriting is, and actually, I think the way you explained it, it's probably my favorite I've ever heard. Because that's another thing. I hate when people explain songwriting in the lamest way. Like it's like, oh, my feelings and they talk about like they put a lot of thought into it. Like, no, something bigger than us takes over. And we don't know when. Yeah, like you're not going to become a good songwriter by taking a course on songwriting. In fact, like it just doesn't work like that. You think John Lennon and Paul McCartney were like, I better hop on here and do a 6-week course.
However, I will say that for people who haven't written songs, who are looking to get into songs, it's actually very good to understand the format. It's good to understand a little bit of music theory. It's good to understand these things.
Theory,
however,
for sure.
For myself, I grew up learning how to play instruments on my own. I was never in classes, never taught by anybody, but definitely, and this has come from someone who runs songwriting, filmmaking, and theater, creative project-based learning courses for kids. And we've taken kids who have never held an instrument in their entire lives through an 8-week program, taught them about all kinds of different instruments, let them play a bunch of different instruments. Then they get to write a song together, guided. We write a song together, so they get to experience that. And what we're talking about even applies to the kids who have never written a song before. They're just, the ideas just start falling out of them once they start to enjoy the process. But I think a lot of kids who are otherwise maybe inhibited to write a song, maybe they get into one of these programs and they think, man, I can do this. They actually get to experience the fact for a minute, like, wow, this is really cool. I can do this. I'm actually good at this.
That's true.
Whereas
That's true. Everyone's journey is different. I shouldn't have said that.
And to be honest with you, I really feel like a lot of people who would be great songwriters never have the opportunity to put the pen to paper or the notes to paper because they're too intimidated to do it. Whereas if they jumped in a course, they jumped in something to maybe ease them into it. So not only is it good for, I think our songwriting courses are beneficial for educational value. I also think they're beneficial for emotional and mental growth in an area too. Say if you want to be a songwriter, so if you're at home and you've been playing for 5 years, but you've never played out, in public, and you've never gone to an open mic night or anything like that, and you think, I really want to like hone my songs or something like that, and you let's say you finally go to one of these things and you realize that you're a really good songwriter, and you're already a good songwriter. You start realizing, wow, I have some skill, I have some talent, and it boosts your confidence. Yeah. So there's all kinds of different beneficial things and positive things. However, I won't say. I will piggybacking on your statement, I will say that it's not going to make you Mozart. Going to a songwriting course is not going to give you the intrinsic feeling of being able to let one of those songs like we're talking about fall out of you. Literally allow yourself to be a conduit for those things. Yeah, exactly.
So, you have to point yourself in that direction, be a vessel to receive those vibrations from something bigger because it really does feel like you said, it just takes over and you get it. 100%. And I think that really is what it is that, when you allow yourself to not know where it comes from.
Right.
And allow it. And because it's so hard. If you think too much with your left brain.
Dude, it'll throw everything off.
Yeah. It's like if I threw a baseball at you really fast, you'd catch it. No problem. If I lobbed it to you, or if you lobbed it to me, I'd be like, I can't.
Yeah, that's why you see like major league players doing this.
It's a difference of just instinctual versus us. It's like literally like something bigger than us, and then when my actual dumb brain starts taking all over the entire situation, like, hey, I got the ball. It's really there's something. It's really just allowing something higher than you, like your natural instincts. Some might call it your reptilian brain. The fight or flight brain, or I look at it like our brains are pretty much radio, their radios.
Yeah.
And everybody has
transmitters and receivers.
Yeah. And sometimes, every now and then, if I'm set to the right station, I'm getting something good.
Right.
And those are the best moments ever. They make me cry. And
Me too, dude. I feel you, bro. There's been nothing more therapeutic than writing the songs. When I was going through my breakup, bro, when I was writing the songs, I was in tears as I was writing the songs, but I could feel like there was something changing in my biochemistry as I was going through that process.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Have you ever experienced that where you're literally in the middle of writing a song and you can feel yourself actually becoming a different person?
Dude.
You can feel yourself actually changing and adopting maybe some of the things that you're feeling, and you're like, wow, like...
It's almost like a movie montage just happened.
Yeah.
Where, like...
you lived through one, you know?
Yeah, it's just like you just saw like 20 scenes of you building a house, and now the house is done. You're like, wow.
I know.
Yeah, I 100% know what you're talking about.
Yeah, dude, I love that, man. Yeah. Well, you ready to do the damn thing and show us some songs, some of your awesome awesome art?
I've already decided to blow off the rest of the night, so we have some time if you want to keep talking, because I'm really enjoying this.
Okay. All right. Well, I definitely want to get to the musical portion of this.
Of course.
Fairly soon here.
I know we are kind of teasing songwriting.
I know. And to be honest with you, I've been listening to some of the songs that he's been playing, and I'm really stoked about showing these songs to you guys tonight, actually.
Cool.
So before we jump into the musical performance, I want to tack our gratitudes on here at the end, because we didn't do them at the beginning here. So today I am so happy and grateful that I get to spend a little time with my good friend, Mr. Crumb.
Oh, man.
Love you, brother. It's been a while.
Too.
Miss you.
You too, man. It's good to see you.
Turn your phone on. Respond to some text messages, do the damn thing.
I did.
I love you that much. I want to talk to you.
I just want you to know that I don't ever do it to one person. It's either everybody
or nobody.
My mom hates me. Well, she loves me, but she's pretty mad. You have seniority over my mom, so
that's not good.
It's not.
That's something I'm happy about.
I'm sorry. No, I love my mom to death, but what I mean is, I don't know. I just don't remember signing up for always having a phone next to me. When everybody just said, "Yeah, that's how my life's going to be," I didn't sign that contract, and then I'm like, I'm trying to adjust.
I mean, cell phone or not, there's there's unwritten contracts about personal communication and personal, friends and things like that. So,
you're the first person to ever say this to me. I'm sorry.
I'm sure it's all good. I love you, bro.
That's why I love you so much.
It's
That's why
good.
When I did text you back, I said, you know why I love you is because I know I haven't gotten back to you in a few days, and you just said, hey, what about that? You didn't say anything about I didn't get back to you. You just were like, oh, this is Crumb, and that's why I was like, thank you, because if you did,
but I'll still call you on your bullshit though.
Of course, and please do, because it's all bullshit.
As I absolutely,
but
hey, you call me on mine too, and I appreciate it,
Jay. We call each other, but I will say,
right.
if you did text me like, what the hell, Brett, man, why haven't you texted me back? I'm probably would be like, well, no, I don't want to talk to him at all. I don't want to deal with that negative situation. I'm not in a good place right now. That sounds like a lot of stress, and it pushes me away. Where it's like, it's nice knowing that, like, okay, well, at least he gets me and he doesn't take it personal. So
I love you, brother. I love you, man. I absolutely do. I'm really excited to see you today. I'm excited to see you play. I'm really happy we've been able to get together today and talk about some things and spend some time together and spend some time with the people out here as well. So it's been really nice. All right, you guys. Well, we're gonna be right back with a live musical performance from our amazing musical guest today, Mr. Crumb. But first, Bucket Man.
Bucket.
That was the jam, bro. I loved it, dude. Hey, I love.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the listening room, Mr. Crumb.
When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are, and anything your heart desires will come true. When your heart is in your string, no request is too extreme. When you wish upon a star, your dreams come true. Well, fate is kind and brings to those who love the sweet familiar sound, the secret longing. When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come true. All right. This next song I've rarely ever performed before. I wrote it in a city in Peru called Mancora, and so I've always named it that. But it's really Happiness is a Love Song. Happiness is a love song. Oh, waving your guns just for fun on the horizon. Happiness is like the apocalypse. Oh, never intended to blend on your conscience. How did we get this far? Tell me how we got this far. And I think it's too late. Yes, I think it's too late. And I'm sure it's too late to decide our own fate. So don't hesitate. Happiness is a love song. Oh, mended by glue to my youth through the crazies. And apathy is an oasis. Oh, never intended to blend through the crazy. How did we get this far? Tell me how we got, well, this far. And I think it's too late. Oh, yes, I think it's too late. don't hesitate. Alright, there's that one. Here's another song. I don't think I've played it in a while. It's called Cut and Dry. Loud, ravenous tones in the morning, they sing to me and swing throughout it all. The fine, marvelous will of knowing when your soul is cut and dry. The painstakingly painful awakens, shine through my window 10 past noon. To feel, to love is painless when your soul is cut and dry. Oh, but when Cain left the insane out to die, he claimed that he could rain out dry. All our soul is willing and able. Won't you just stay for a little while? While I dream to the extreme through our window and holding on the zone fast asleep, the feel of love is painless when your soul is cut and dry. Soul is cut and dry. Alright, so I'm gonna try slipping out here. One of the most popular Jelly of the Month Club songs is Welcome to the Carnival. I get that a lot. You know, it's a song I wrote or co-wrote the music for, and it's a lot of lyrics, and I never perform it, and it's mainly because a lot of the songs with Jelly were such a inclusive band that it's hard to play solo, but I'm gonna attempt to do a version of it that is more fitting for an acoustic. Welcome, I'm doing B. Welcome to the carnival, witness the wonders of the world. Step right up and see the pretty girl at the carnival. You won't believe your eyes, leave you second guessing, guaranteed to mesmerize. Well, if you got the gold, want your fortune told. Lady Esmeralda will look into your soul. Hell at the carnival will take away your breath, fill you full of goosebumps and scare you out to death. Welcome to the carnival. Welcome to the carnival. Welcome to the carnival. Welcome to the carnival. All you misters and you misters, welcome to a fair. Oh, it's a bliss enchanted evening. There's a mystery out the air, so crisp but you can't kiss the mystery that lurks the fair. All whispers will make history. Come join us if you dare. Oh, we got a house of mirrors. You'll see yourself so silly, you'll laugh yourself to tears at the carnival. cotton candy's currency. Leave your fingers sticky and I'll watch away your teeth. Now tell me who's afraid of the haunted house. You lose your mind, you get lost and found. A cloud with all swords, 22 a car. You'll miss the one-eyed gypsy while he's playing his guitar. Welcome to the carnival. Welcome to the carnival. Welcome to the carnival. Welcome to the carnival. Funnel cakes, ventriloquists, mimes and puppeteers, a juggling unicyclist in a haunted house of mirrors, acrobatic elephants trapezing through the air, and a freak show that's so shocking you can't help but stare. A snake charming strongman with a flair for spinning plates, a fire-eating monkey that will guess your age and weight. A character will caricature your face onto a poster, or tilt a whirl and you'll surely hurl the fastest roller coaster. The carnival has come to town. Tell me, have you seen the clowns on the merry-go-round? We are the clowns on the merry-go-round. We like to ride it upside down. We sometimes smile, we sometimes frown. We're the clowns on the merry-go-round. Well, welcome to the carnival. Welcome to the carnival. Welcome to the carnival. Welcome to the carnival. All right. Never tried that before. I think there's something in there. All right, next song I'm going to do. I had it in my mind. Alright, this is a song called Yesterday's Come and Gone. I never perform it live, but it's on my Mr. Crumb album, which I think you can find somewhere online. This is an example of a song that it's basically my version. I was inspired by Lou Reed's Perfect Day, which is beautiful lyrics with a sad vibe. So what he did was such a perfect day, drink sangria in the park, then later when it gets dark we go home. Such a perfect day, you help me forget myself. I thought I was someone else, someone good. Oh, it's such a perfect day. I'm glad I spent it with you. Oh, what a perfect day. You just keep me hanging on. You just keep me hanging on. I probably shouldn't have told the secret of what song I'm kind of ripping off before I do it, but whatever. So here we go. Has come and gone. I've seen the face of everyone. Oh, happiness, won't you go away? I don't wanna feel your face today, 'cause time is moving on. I've seen this place and I found this gun. Oh, loneliness, won't you go away? I don't wanna Yesterday has come and gone. I've seen the place where I keep my gun. Oh, happiness, won't you go away? I don't wanna feel oh your sweet embrace, 'cause time is going on, moving on. I've seen this place and I found my gun. Oh, loneliness, won't you go away? I don't wanna feel your sweet embrace. There's gotta be a better way. Got to find the light of day. We've gotta find this perfect rhyme when fall through. There's gotta be a better way. We've gotta find the light of day. Oh, we gotta find the perfect rhyme and follow through. Haven't played that in a while. So yeah, that was probably the most depressing song I've ever written. But in a weird way, it's happy. That's what I try to go for when I write depressing songs. I'm not just like, it sucks and I have no solution. You want to offer a problem and then be like, yeah, but there's this. So that was my thought process on that. All right, so all right, here is a song. I don't know if I played it last time I was here, but it's called 40 Acres and a Mule. Waking eyes undulge the ocean. Take my dog out for a walk, and if I had the preconceived notion, I would call it on the spot. Or walk a mile in callous footwear, find a sultry hidden spot. With my 6-string and a camel, I might stay here until I rot. But I must warn you, well, I must warn you, beauty comes in plates of light. Well, I must warn you, oh, I forewarn you, we can live against the light. But if I only went to law school, well, I would have nothing to fear. With my 40 acres and mules, I could stay here and not live in fear, but I must warn you, I forewarn you, passion comes so naturally. 'Cause I must warn you, I forewarn you, you can't live this easily. I must warn you, I forewarn you, beauty comes in plates of light. I must warn you, oh, I forewarn you, we can lose it all in the night. Well, alleviate the conscience state, forget the world we love to hate. It's not too late to leave before the mornings come, and ask for more of a blinding light. Traffic signs, computers, and waiting lines. The only meat is hid and seek, the photograph proves everything, and now the time is coming near for caviar and chandeliers, an orchestra for atmosphere. Our claim to fame will disappear and fall behind the closing doors of reconnecting metaphors. And furthermore, when you know how the world's your stage, now take a bow. Alright, I'm gonna do one more and then hopefully do one with Eddie. This is a storyteller song, so if you listen to the lyrics, it might hit home. I co-wrote this with a very, very talented songwriter named Jesse Edwards. He's in Tennessee now, probably writing 20 songs a day. He's so good. Now when she comes over, she knocks on my window, falls through my back door, and I need, and I need, and I need just as much from you, and nothing in the whole world can save me now. And here I am when you want me, and here I am when you need me, and here I am when you finally realize that you and mine alone. But sometimes you act like you don't know me, and sometimes you act like you don't know that you own me. And sometimes you call me on the phone drunk and lonely, and sometimes you don't call me at all. And here I am, oh, when you want me, and when you want me. And here I am, oh, when you need me. And here I am, when you finally realize that you were mine. Oh, mine, all right long. Ooh, ooh,
I love it.
Thank you, man. Who said that?
I did.
Oh,
Look up to your right. Up and to your right. There you go.
oh, God. God, of course.
All right. You ready to do one?
Absolutely, brother. You coming in here or you go stay back there?
Stay right here. I'm singing from right here. Why must we stay? We don't belong. Why must we stay where we don't belong? Because there's never gonna be enough space. So eat the meat, savor the taste. It's always gonna be a delicacy. So lick your chops and eat the meat. Why must we stay where we don't belong? Why must we stay where we don't belong? The factory mass producing fear, bottle cap distributed near, foreign sold for a reasonable price. The people, they love it, they feed it, brush with it, bathe with it, breathe it, inject it direct to the blood. It seems to be replacing love. Why must we stay where we don't belong? Why must we stay where we don't belong? Because there's always gonna be token truth, forgotten code, discarded youth. You know there's always gonna be pedigree when on the air, the other pay to breathe. Why must we stay where we don't belong? Why must we stay where we don't belong? Why must we stay where we don't belong? That was fun.
Eddie, thanks so much for having me on the show, man.
Mr. Crumb, I absolutely love you. Thank you so much for joining me today on the listening room. And thanks to every single one of you guys.
If you're watching this, guys, this channel needs to blow up. This is too good. Start telling your friends more. Get people on this. He's doing this every night. It's fantastic. Like, literally, he deserves, like, 15,000 people watching right now.
I love you, Crumb.
No, I'm serious. No, I'm getting a little pissed off, actually. Let's get this going here, folks. I want to help you with this. This is good.
You're awesome, Crumb. I love you, man.
I'm not really pissed.
I know.
Playing a role here.
I know. Thanks, you guys, for joining me on the listening room tonight. Thanks so much for my guest, Mr. Crumb. Please join me on Monday for Mr. Daniel Ringy, first assistant director on films such as Burden with Forrest Whitaker, which has just come out. Go check that out. And A Fatal Affair on Netflix with Omar Epps. He also did a bunch of stuff we're going to talk about on Monday. So come on back, see me on Monday at 6:30 with my guest, Dan Ringy. Thanks again to my guest, Mr. Crumb, this evening. And thanks to you guys for watching. Thank you all. Love you all. Oh, let's get that again. Thank you all. Love you all. Thanks for being a part of the listening room tonight. My name is Eddie Booze. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notifications, and give the video a like. We'll see you guys every Monday through Friday right here at 6:30. Take care.